What if I told you that your brain has been quietly rewired, and the scary part is that most people don't even realize it's happening. The truth is, most people go through their days feeling unfulfilled even when everything seems fine on the surface. They wake up, go to work, come home, scroll on their phone, but deep down something feels like it's missing. They hate their jobs, neglect their health, and feel trapped in a constant cycle of escape, searching for meaning everywhere else except the present moment. But instead of facing their discomfort, growing from it, or making real changes, they turn to distractions, looking for cheap pleasures that will numb their feelings and fill a void. Pleasure has become the new drug, and almost everyone that you know is addicted. Ultra-processed foods, endless scrolling on social media, pornography, binge-worthy entertainment. For most people, these are no longer harmless indulgences, but they have become addictions. And like with any drug, the more you consume, the more you need. Quick dopamine spikes from these activities overstimulate the brain, making people want them more and more, leaving the brain in a constant state of hyperstimulation. The shift happens so gradually that most people don't even realize it. The end result is that everyday life starts to feel dull. Going for walks? Yeah, boring. Working out? Boring. Reading? Boring. Learning? Boring. When the brain is overstimulated, it loses the ability to enjoy simple and meaningful activities. The more that someone indulges, the more that they become numb to genuine sources of happiness and fulfillment. This constant state of stimulation rewires your brain's reward system, and it makes ordinary moments feel unbearable. Silence starts to become uncomfortable. Focus feels impossible, and you start chasing that next hit of novelty just to feel normal again. Pursuing your health, building discipline, and working on your goals no longer feel desirable because the dopamine payoff from these activities feels weak compared to the hits that you get from these modern day distractions which have turned into our drugs. And so if you want to reclaim your life, improve your mental health, and rebuild your capacity for genuine fulfillment, then you must start treating pleasure like a controlled substance. And so here is how you break free from the cycle. Dopamine deprivation. By deliberately reducing constant stimulation, you reset your brain's reward system and allow your brain to function as it should. A few examples of things you can do to help is cold exposure, such as like cold showers or ice baths, heat exposure such as a sauna, intermittent fasting or reducing sugar, a social media/digital detox, or self-imposed shopping bans. These tools will help to restore your brain's balance and reset the reward system. And it's been estimated that it only takes around 2 weeks to start to notice big differences. Within that time, your brain will rewire itself and you'll start to feel genuine fulfillment again. Dopamine deprivation isn't about living in misery, but it's about creating contrast. Because you appreciate sweet treats so much more when they're not an everyday thing. Movies feel so much more entertaining when you're not watching them every night. Buying something new feels so much more exciting, and you appreciate it way more when you have to patiently wait for it. Music sounds better and far richer when you haven't had it constantly playing in the background. A few months ago on my channel, I did a 30-day discipline challenge with strict rules. No ultra-processed food, no watching any YouTube, no social media, no watching any TV or shows, and every single day I committed to doing a meditation, to reading, and doing an exercise. And by the end of the month, I felt so good that I added a new rule into my life going forward. I'll only allow myself to watch 3 things on a Sunday, but the rest of the week I stay offline. No social media, no YouTube, or no watching TV. And since then I've stuck to it. I think it's been around 2 months now, but only once a week on a Sunday do I go online to watch 3 things. Otherwise, I stay completely offline. I even schedule all of my YouTube content for the week, so I don't even have to go on YouTube. And so because I don't constantly watch shows or content all the time, what I've noticed is that Sundays have become a little highlight of my week. When I sit down to enjoy my 3 shows, I really appreciate it so much more. What used to be a mindless activity is now something that I look forward to and that I genuinely enjoy so much more. Lying down to watch a show feels like a gift not a default habit. Dopamine deprivation is not about punishment, but it is a reset button. It transforms ordinary mindless experiences into moments of appreciation and gratitude. The truth is, a lot of us are living incredibly blessed lives. We have a roof over our head, we have food on the table, we have running water, a warm bed, and access to endless entertainment and convenience. Yet somehow we're so bored and restless and unfulfilled. Not because we don't have enough, but because we've flooded our brains with constant stimulation to the point where the extraordinary has become ordinary. The things that should bring us joy barely register anymore. We connect less with our loved ones. We scroll away our evenings. We eat meals but without ever really tasting them. And we fill up every quiet moment with noise, and so we've become numb. When your brain becomes less stimulated, over time you will start to reclaim back your sensitivity, and things such as going for walks, having a conversation, eating nice food, sitting in silence will start to feel fulfilling again. Pleasure is not the problem, but how we use it is. Step back from constant stimulation, reset your brain, and you'll start to see how life, even in its simplest of moments, can feel genuinely fulfilling again. Click here to learn what I discovered after reading over 100 self-help books, and I hope this video helped you. All the best.